project here. Here we go. We have two projects in this course. This is project number one. Our first one is due this week. It involves making a spreadsheet. And actually in this case, you have a spreadsheet right here that you can use. And it just involves filling it out and then writing a paper, which is 1 to 2 pages. You don't need to go over 2 pages in it, answering the question. So let's go ahead and pull this up and look at this. And I want to download it. Here's our project. Weighted average, the multi-dimensional poverty index. So this is a score, and index is a number. It's kind of like a score, describing poverty, how impoverished a country is. You'll see that down here. So we've been working with averages. So it's kind of like what's most important to you in this course, your grade point average. Your grade average in here is kind of like an index, tells how well you're doing. It's weighted. Tests are worth a lot, homework's worth a little, projects are worth more than homeworks, or I think they're right at the same percentage. But that's what our job is to do, to do that. We're going to create it. So in this spreadsheet, or in this project, you're going to create a spreadsheet, and you're actually given one, and I'm going to show you how you can use that. And then you're going to use the spreadsheet, and you're going to follow these directions. It'll tell you what to do. And then you're going to type a reflection paper. Minimum of 2 pages is enough. You don't have to go 2 pages. You can stop. And you're just going to answer these questions. You're going to give an explanation of how it's calculated. You're going to analyze your results. Some people argue that education should be higher. You're going to answer that. So it's kind of like they tell you what to write about, and you can just write a paragraph or two about each one, and you will be fine. You can get all the way down, just follow the directions, and shouldn't be too bad at all. All right, so let's go ahead and see what this project is about. So the paper is written by answering those questions, but the spreadsheet is right here. They actually give you one to start with. So you just need to download this. There is no quiz attached to this project. No, it's kind of like it's all on its own. It involves the math that you used in the last couple lessons, but there is no quiz over the project. So once you get it done, turn it in and you're done. All right, so here's a spreadsheet. All we gotta do is complete this. Our job is to come up with the multi-dimensional poverty index for a country. So I'm gonna put that right out here, MPI. And so in the MPI is this column. We're going to, I like to make it fancy, so I'm just going to color this box. Let's go with the light green. So in this, green box here, I'm going to come up with the multi-dimensional poverty index, which is a score for all of these countries. These are some of the poorest countries in the world, according to this set of data. Bangladesh, Cambodia, Ethiopia, Peru, Vietnam, all of these places right here have a score. Well, how do they get that score? How can we determine which one of these countries is the worst off, or which one of these countries is the best? Well, there's government agencies out there that score the country on all of these different categories. For example, nutrition. Nutrition, these are the scores that they're given in nutrition. Peru has the worst score when it comes to nutrition. Ethiopia here, India, Nigeria, all of these have a different score. Child mortality have a different score. all the way down for all of these different countries. Years of schooling. Oh wait, these are people who are poor or deprived at each indicator in nutrition. 52% of Ethiopia are considered poor, deprived for nutrition. Child mortality, 11% here. Democratic Republic of Congo, I believe, 11% there. Schooling, 3% of people in Vietnam are considered poor in schooling. Not too many. In Pakistan, it's 24. So they're all rated here. Sanitation in Ethiopia, 80% of people are considered poor at that category. When it comes to electricity, there's all the different places right there. All right, so what if we want to do an overall score? Well, I could just do this, watch. I could just hit equal and hit average. And I could average all of these numbers. And there's their score for Bangladesh. 23 is their average. And then I could do the same thing in Cambodia if I click this and put this down. So according to this, more people are at a poor level in Bangladesh than Cambodia. 23 to Cambodia's 19. All right. However, what's the problem with doing an average that way? I mean, we could do that. You could do that and you'd be done with your project. And then you just go answer your questions. That's really all you have to do is come up with this number right here, the score, and then go through and answer the questions. However, we calculated the score wrong because just like in this class, you can't just average all your grades because some of them are worth more than others, right? Your test scores are worth more than your homework scores. They're not the same. All of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 factors are not the same. So we just have to do a weighted average. All right, so here we go. Ready? This is what you will do. You'll press, I'm not going to do all of it, but I'll give you enough to get started on it so you can figure out how to get the scores. To calculate these scores, you're going to press equal, and then you are going to click the first cell, nutrition. And then you're going to hit times, which is the asterisk. And you are going to times that nutrition number by the percent that people have given, the weight that people have given to nutrition. In our class, I give a weight of 60% to your tests. That's how important I think your tests are. In here, they think that nutrition is weighted at 1/6. 16%. So you don't have to put the decimal in there. You can just put that 1/6. Plus the next one, child mortality. Click on that cell and then hit times and 1/6 again. Plus, click on the next one and we have 1/6 again. Okay, I have to hit the times in there. Plus school attendance times 1/6. I'm gonna do one more for you. Cooking, fuel, weight. People don't think that's important, right? It doesn't sound as important as, say, sanitation, right? If you're talking about how poor a country is, what's a bigger factor, the cooking fuel or the nutrition? Well, nutrition, in my mind, is a lot more important. So it's 1/6 instead of 1/18. And just do that, work your way all the way down, have this big long expression right there, press enter. There's a score for Bangladesh. Now, again, that's not the right score because remember, I didn't, I only got halfway done. You'll go ahead and do the rest. And then you just click this and then drag this down and there's the scores for all the people. Then you can do that, explain that, answer questions about that, and then put everything in paper. Then the other parts of the project are, well, what if someone said, you know what? I think schooling is a lot more important. So I'm gonna go back to this. And schooling is this purple one, E5. And instead of being only 1/6, I think schooling should be 1/3. So it's gonna be a third of it instead of a sixth of it. Now I press enter and that changes that value and I can drag it down. And then all of those numbers change. So you can play with the numbers and adjust them, right? If in this class, if I said tests are only worth 2% of your grade, well, probably everybody's grade in here would go up because tests are usually the hardest part of the course. So those percentages are very important. They determine what the grade is. And that's all you have to do. Get this number here. Once you get that number, answer the questions, make a couple changes, and go from there. All right, any questions on the project, any part of it that did not make sense? All right, well, that's where I'm going to leave you today. We'll have a regular class on Thursday. We have a couple lessons to do. If you have any questions about the project, email. I'll be happy to help you. If you're working with a tutor, they've probably seen this project before. They'll be able to help you. Remember, next Tuesday, we won't have class. I'll be out of town. I will be available by email, and I will post a lesson from the previous class. All right, thank you for coming tonight. Have a great night. You are free to go. Enjoy the nice weather, and I will see you back here on Thursday. Hope this helps. I'll stick around. Any questions, anything you want me to go back over before we go?
I have a question.
Sure.
What numbers do we have to calculate to get the MPI?
You're going to do all 10 of these categories here. So you're going to take these 10 numbers right here, and you're going to weight them by these percentages up here. So when you press equal, this first one for Bangladesh is nutrition. So I would click on that. So you're going to use that number in your data and you're going to use all of them, but you're not going to use that whole number. You're going to use 1/6 of it. So you times it by 1/6. And then you go to the next one, child mortality. You want to use that one, but you don't want to do all of it. You want to do 1/6 of it. And you just go work your way down the entire list and do all 10 of them. And they
So,
give you the fractions are there right above it in
okay.
this line there. The fractions are there.
Okay. So if we don't use the numbers that are on the bottom for the countries, can we still use the fractions and calculate it like that?
Yeah. Yep. Use the fractions up there and just use each row. And then once you do it, you only have to do it once. So once you do it for the first country,
Mm-hmm.
you just click on this and there in the bottom right hand by that 4.6, the little square. If you
Okay.
click that square and drag it down, it
Mm-hmm.
will do the same thing for all the numbers for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. If it doesn't make sense, email. I'll be happy to go back over it too.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Any other questions before we go? All right. Have a great night.